Law, yes.
Whoa, 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 man, calm down. Welcome in, everybody. How's everybody doing this late Sunday night? Pickles, hi. Content Angel, nice to see you. My bestie for the resty, allegedly speculating. Thank you for coming in. Toxic. Oh, Basil's in bed with you. Jenny, so nice to see you, Jenny. Pickles is here with our eye exam icon. It is so nice to see you guys. So, well. I am excited. It looks like Sarah Boone is still making waves from behind bars. Did anybody think it was going to be any less? Tonight, we're going to dive into a fresh letter that she sent out. You heard that right. It's a partial response straight from her prison cell. I wonder what she has to say. I know, the little guardian. Isn't it cute? You guys are my little guardian, the firelight, and that is our little guardian, and he is watching the leaves blow. If you're just tuning in, just make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you will, and we're going to break down this video, Criminal Intent with Katrina Marie. And of course, I want to get your thoughts live in the chat. I will post the link in case anybody wants to come up and hang out with me. You feel free. Just make sure you have your clothes on or your camera off, one of the two. First off, let's shout out to Criminal Intent with Katrina Marie for getting this letter from Sarah Boone. She's been covering Sarah Boone's case in depth for a while, and this letter is sort of an exclusive into Boone's mind and where she's at post-sentencing. Yay! Hi, honey.
Hey,
Boone and her letters, that's for sure.
it's me- hey, it's messing up on my end. I'm gonna try to go out and come back in.
Okay, sweetheart. Pickles says hi to Toxic. I like that background too. So the first thing we're going to watch, anyway, so what I was saying is quick background for anybody who doesn't know. Is there anybody in the chat who does not know who Sarah Boone is? Oh, Jenny, been here for 2 months. She's literally a day one for both me and allegedly speculating. I really appreciate you in all the ways. Welcome back.
Hey, I think it's working now.
Her letters always include drawings and cheerleading puffy content. You're crazy, girl. You don't know who she is. Okay. There we go, Pickles. Thank you for giving me that excuse. For anybody, quick background, who doesn't know who Sarah Boone is, she was convicted for the death of George Torres Jr., who was found inside of a suitcase. Her trial and behavior in court were nothing short of memorable.
Astonishing.
Memorable, yeah. Katrina Marie is a content creator that has been covering Sarah Boone for a while, and she has done a couple of different things that I kind of want to go over, but we all want to know how the letter went with her. So we're going to watch the short that she put out, and this is going to kind of sum up how this is going to go. So let's look at that real quick.
It's really hard to let each side in a situation have the chance to speak, whether people think they are good or bad, whether I think they're good or bad, it doesn't matter. I will let both sides have a voice. They deserve to have a voice. And if you don't believe them or not, that is your educated feeling and decision. But even with wanting to have both sides say their truth is met with anger. Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened to me.
What's up, Mom?
Hi. Reading, Sarah Boone replied back to me.
Oh?
It is not looking good.
Well, you should have known.
Why?
I don't know, Mike.
Try
That look just said it all. Like,
Yeah.
Mom, you should have known. So back in January, we'll probably go over just a little bit of that, but back on January the 13th, Katrina put out a video and she had Sarah Boone's childhood friend who was discussing a little bit of Sarah's life and her family and the growing up and, all of that kind of stuff. And is Garden Bot over here kicking anybody out? Oh, no. Okay, that's regular Nightbot. Okay. Hi, Queen Olive. Welcome in. Thank you for
Hey,
hanging out with
Queen
us.
Olive.
This is my impromptu live. So I saw this come through and I was just I was like, I got to get out. We got to talk about this. So let me pull this up. All right. So basically, she sent out a letter after she had this conversation with Sarah Boone's childhood friend, who at the time did not even know about all the stuff that was happening with Sarah Boone. So it was kind of one of those things. So, like I said, shout out to Katrina, and I put her link in the description as well as in the chat. So let's take a listen and see what she got going on here.
Let me read my letter and Sarah Boone's letter. Sarah, my name is Katrina. I'm a journalist as well as an independent investigator. On my different programs, media has allowed my online community to grow. I'm sure this comes at no surprise for you, but these past few years, your case and trial has gotten larger and larger. Now, I will admit I was and can be critical of some of the things you have said and done. But recently, some things fell into place. On your sentencing day, you had a few character witnesses take the stand on your behalf. But I have to admit that I would have been hurt if if I knew most of my life or friends didn't come to help support me. I am not sure if you have feelings on it, but it caused a major shift in waiting to do a video for you, but not bringing out the bad or upsetting things. I was determined to find friends, coworkers, anyone to have a discussion with me about who you were before 2020. I will start off by saying your brothers, Brian, and your son are all people I have not reached out to. I think in particular, these family members I listed need a break from the spotlight and just to be and have a normal and stable life. For Lucas.
Okay, so that was the first part of it. So Katrina reached out to Sarah in prison and she wanted to do an independent, review, not based on everything that the online community was doing, but just on her own. I want to get to know Sarah. I'd like to know what's going on. I'd like to know how things are. Okay. So let's just take I mean, we already saw the little part here. Let's just take a thought process here and think about this from a mother's standpoint. Not even Sarah Boone, but you as a mother or as a father or as a parent. When somebody reaches out to you, thank you. Thanks, Toxic. When somebody reaches out to you, via the internet and you're a public figure, do you think that Katrina had the right to do that? Should she have reached out to Sarah Boone to talk to her about her brothers, about her life, about her case? Do we as content creators have the right to do that? What do you
I
think?
think I think we do. I like the idea of trying to talk to her, and I like that she approached it by not contacting the family members and stating that they needed a break. I think that's like the best way to approach that situation, and I like that idea. I would like to write her as well. Like it gave me the idea to write her, but I definitely think family needs to be left out of it because they didn't ask for this, you know?
Yep, you're right. And you are right, Content Angel. I agree with you. I believe we all at least have the right to. Now, we may not get the response that we like. And in this case, it's exactly what happened. And we may not always ask the right questions. And so when you're dealing with Sarah Boone, who, we know doesn't have any problem going after a judge, doesn't have any problem going after her own lawyer or, the other lawyers that were on the team. I mean, yeah. Yeah, Abby, I agree. You should be able to ask. And she's a public figure. Her name's out here. We're not doxing something that's public. It's not like we're asking her behind the scenes what's going on between her and Brian or what's going on. Where did we get the name Lucas? She's a public figure. We know her son's name. So I do agree. We should be able to ask.
I had reached out to people or friends and was met with radio silence. That is until I talked to. She was not in the loop and had no idea of the situation. She was extremely hesitant to do the interview because she doesn't know me and was afraid I would berate her or something. I set up boundaries for her. No names, family names, state, city, nothing that you could track her. When the interview was about to start, I reminded her that I'm not going to speak poorly of you, but wanted just to have the opportunity to remember good things with you and discuss you growing up. And that's exactly what we did. She told me how you were friends with her when you guys were younger. She shared a couple happy memories and discussed what a great friend you were when growing up together. After the interview, her parents even were supportive and said how classy and thoughtful the interview was. I'm summarizing the rest of my letter. Since it's a long letter, I was wondering if you'd be interested in doing what your friend and I did and have an interview discussion. Much like I said to her, that's okay if no. The spotlight has been on many people for years. But if you're interested, there's multiple ways to do it. It could be audio, Zoom, or even person to person. I know you have seemingly struggled with media and social media platforms. That in and of itself, that would be a topic that I would love to ask questions about for you. And I would make the same promise like I did your friend. I'm not going to have the interview to bash you, make fun of, or do anything degrading towards you. I simply just want the opportunity to discuss your life. Thank you. So I wasn't going to.
So to me, it seems like the letter was super respectful. She was offering her a platform to get the word out, not only for Sarah's friends, if Sarah's family wanted to reach out, if Sarah's coworkers had wanted to reach out, and Sarah herself. She's flat out asking her, would you like to get your word out, get your, anything that you want out here? I would be willing to do that without causing any harm to you or your family. So I was assuming it was going to be a great letter when I first saw this.
Yeah, I thought it was very respectful. I thought that like she's offering her a platform to talk about things and doing it in a very respectful way. I mean, it was a lot better than I would have been, I can tell you that.
Yeah, same. I don't know, Rubber, but welcome in. Thank you for being here. Period, point blank, you monster. Yeah, I think she should be prepared for any type of response, good or bad. I definitely agree with that, 100%. All right, so let's see what else happens.
Respond to her first letter at all. She said no. And just like I did with every other person, I would ask once, and that would be that. Please do not speak my son's name. And you spelled it incorrectly, which shows your research isn't exactly up to level you're boasting about.
Sarah.
Speak my son's name. And you spelled it incorrectly, which
I know. She snaps out of the gate, which is
Yeah.
the rudest thing, and I'm sure she's going to read the rest of this, but please do not speak my son's name. I mean, dude, what if I was like, hey, everybody in the chat, I know that Lucas doesn't have his mother. She's in prison. Let's get a GoFundMe together for Lucas. And I'm saying your son's name because we're trying to do good for them. She wasn't. I didn't see any bad intention, anything nefarious or malicious intent at all, in my opinion.
No, but it's classic Sarah. That's her. That's the way she was with George. That's the way she was with her ex-husband. I apologize. I can't remember his name.
Brian.
That's her arrogance enters the room 20 minutes before she does. That's her. That's why I said just a second ago I wouldn't have been that way. I think she would have got a better, I don't know. I mean, you can't come out the gate being like a biatch either, because she's not going to respond to that either. But I don't know. I wouldn't even know how to approach this. I think she did good, but Sarah, it doesn't surprise me her response. The little
Right?
biatch.
Yeah, she's just looking for any reason to snap out or lash out at anybody that she can, because just like she said in her speech, in her closing, part of her trial, is that she thinks all of us media people are, mean, and we're the demons. And
Yeah.
Lucas is still, I think he's just gonna, is it, now I could be wrong. I think he's just gonna turn 16, if not just barely turn 16. So,
Aw.
yeah. Yeah, I think I would. I mean, I can't speak on behalf of the family, but just from what we've seen on the offset, he has an incredibly good father who's been really dedicated to him since the beginning, of all of the alcoholism and the things that she was going through, with George. Yeah, it's
Yep.
definitely not for her. I agree.
That's why she's snapping, because it's not for her and it's not about her. That's why she wants to talk about me, want to talk about
Yeah,
I think. Yep.
I'm looking here. Let's see. I'm looking to see how old he is now. Okay, so yeah, he's just barely turning 16. In 24, she met her ex. Okay, the pair were married for 13 years. They share a son, Lucas. It said he was 13 in 2024, so maybe not. Maybe that's what I was remembering, is that he barely turned, or he's fixing to turn 14, and then he was able to decide whether or not he wanted to speak to his mother or not, because I know they were going through the separation issue, with her trying to get money from him to keep her alimony behind bars.
Yeah, I get that song stuck in my head. I don't even listen to country music, but that song has been stuck in my head for years.
Want to talk about me? Okay, let's keep going.
Yeah.
Shows your research isn't exactly up to level you're trying to boast about to me in order to be bamboozled by your mirage.
Okay, I want to break that out just a little bit. You spelled it incorrectly, which shows your research isn't exactly up to the level you're trying to boast about to me in order for me to be bamboozled by your mirage. I mean, did she go in the jail cell with wings like an angel, like flying over and like, Sarah, and Sarah's response was like, that's my name, don't wear it out?
In her eyes, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Were you expecting I grab a cup of Joe and tell you everything about me and my life? You don't know me, my family, or my son. You will not, and I am not professionally stating for you to pursue my family or my son going forward.
So, were you expecting I grab a cup of Joe and tell you everything about me and my life? I mean, that is very much Sarah, 100%. Like every line in this letter, every
Mhm.
snide remark, you can almost feel the penmanship as she's writing it. You don't know me, my family, or my son. You will not. And I
Wow.
and I am professionally stating for you to not pursue my family or my son going forward. Professionally stating.
Yeah. And
What the hell does that mean?
she's threatening her in an underhanded way. She thinks it's ridiculous.
You're in Laos. What are you gonna do? Send me a sugar packet and tell me to pour it on myself? Look
Send her a
out.
cease, send her a damn cease and assist or something. I'm on a live, Mr. Speculating. Um,
Mr.
Yeah.
Speculating wants. Listen, Mr. Speculating, we're going to send some sugar packets your way.
Pour some sugar on me.
Do not mention anything about my son and leave his name off your broadcasting.
Mouth?
All of me is to be in appeal. All of me is to be in all of my appeal, not you. Stay tuned.
I'm sorry. Do not mention anything about my son and leave his name out of your bad broadcasting mouth. What is that? She didn't say anything that would have been sideways whatsoever to this woman. And she wrote it very delicately in order to keep her from getting upset and keep her from getting. Now, like I said, I preface that with, what if you, as a mother or as a, a wife or whatever, what if somebody on YouTube was writing to you and you're behind bars and you already feel helpless enough? Would you have this reaction, or would you be like, what a perfect opportunity? Let me sit down like I, Sarah Boone, do and write you a 70-page letter about my life and what I'm capable of and why it was not intentional, why I need the cheese, where are all of my brown sugar Pop Tarts, and what's happened to me since Miss K left. I just, all of me is to be in all of my appeal. Sarah, you have nothing to do with your appeal, love. It's absolutely out of your hands. You didn't even know you had a second lawyer. And for one, they lost your first appeal until they conveniently found it. Stay
Yeah.
tuned. Stay
So
tuned.
rude.
Okay. Yeah, podcasting mouth. Yeah, you don't even spell right. It's not broadcasting. She's podcasting. Yeah. We are a singing bunch, but there's a couple of songs that have been banned, and we're not, yeah, we'll leave that alone. So, yeah, stay tuned, Pickles. Well, I mean, she said she was a journalist, and Sarah Boone is, knows all, and apparently, from the way she responded, she knows about her friend having that interview. Hi, Lynn. How are you? I love this name, Abby Normal 13. Abby,
I like it too.
it's a beautiful name. Should have sent her a box of Pop Tarts to sweeten her up. Oh, add a little money on that kiosk. I bet she would have been, because we did see her money, and she is not. Yeah, she did see her. We did see her money woes, and it wasn't real good.
No, everybody's tired of her.
Well, yeah.
Here's my letter back. Well, I can promise you one thing, and it's something I 100% agree with you. I don't talk about your son in any capacity. I have kids, so I understand and agree with you. I wasn't going to write back because a no is a no, but I just wanted you to know at least. Some of these platforms, people lose sight on morals sometimes, but I refuse to cross a certain line when I'm asking for an interview for something like this. Also, no to your cup of coffee comment. I assumed it would be a no. I also assumed that maybe people aren't interested in hearing what you have to say or giving any chance. So, with knowing you'd most likely say no, I still wanted to give you the opportunity. I do hope I am not the first one to ask, but anyone who's reporting on you, who's not actually trying to understand you and various things, make their work really one-sided and biased. I felt like this was the right thing to do, and I will respect your answer.
So I'm gonna go back through that because some of the stuff I agree with her on, and some of it I don't. So she makes her a promise that it's something that she agrees with her 100% on. She doesn't talk about her son in any capacity. She has kids, and she wouldn't want that done to her. So she agrees with her on that. She wasn't going to write back because a no is a no, but she wanted her to know that at least on some of these places and these platforms, there are people that lose sight of the morals that they have, but she's not one of them. or that others that refuse to cross certain lines, although there are some creators that do. Now, me personally, I've been following Sarah Boone since as far back as I can remember, since the very first time I saw it come across the board. And in some cases, there are lots of people that do cross lots of boundaries and lose sight of their morals and stuff. Now, me personally, I can't think of any creators that have done that in the Sarah Boone case. It was pretty much open and shut, literally inside of a suitcase. You locked your boyfriend in there. You were inebriated. It was proven. You went upstairs, flipped him over, recorded yourself doing it, recorded yourself 11 minutes later. It was, I mean, I don't know how we're losing sight of our morals covering a case like this.
Exactly.
It gives me nightmares too content. It's a horrible video. And anybody, if for anybody who hasn't seen it, I suggest you go watch it and put yourself in the, I don't say put yourself in a suitcase, but put yourself in the place of this man who can't breathe and listen to this lady screaming outside of it. That's what you do when you choke me. That's what you do when you cheat on me. And he's like, I can't fucking breathe. And she's like, well, you better just shut the fuck up. It's like, lady, how is it that we're going to be losing sight of our morals on this platform when she refuses to acknowledge the fact that she has killed somebody? you know
Right. Yeah.
Also,
She's
no.
very much the one with no morals, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be compared to Sarah's morals. Now, I don't agree with reaching out to Brian and her son unless you're going to reach out to give them some sort of money or monetary gain, because there's nothing that you need to know from Lucas or Brian, either one. Now, Brian's not the type to give interviews online, so we already know that. He has nothing else he needs to say. He doesn't want to say anything. No to your cup of coffee comment. I assumed it would be no, but I also assumed that maybe people aren't interested in hearing what you have to say or giving you any chance. What I mean, we've listened to her for 5 years. We've listened to her write letter after letter after letter, long letters that are to the community, to us on YouTube, the community of YouTube, and how bad we are, and how she demonizes us for covering her case, which was a very public and high-profile case. She demonizes the judge. She demonizes the lawyers. She went through 9 different lawyers. I mean, plenty of people have given her a lot of chances, in my opinion.
I agree.
So with the knowing you'd most likely say no, I still wanted to give you the opportunity, which is noble. It's noble, right? Because if I think about you covering Maddie Soto, for example, if you got a letter from Jennifer Soto that said, allegedly, I'd like to speak to you on the live, would you give me a chance? I know there would be no way you would say no to that. So I think it's noble.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I would not say no to that, but I would say I do want to make it clear that I didn't contact you, that you contacted me, because I'm not the type of person to contact families. But yeah, I would absolutely speak to her. I would talk to her. I would give her a platform, all of that. Absolutely.
Detective Wabuffet. Wabuffet? Wabuffet. Which one is it? Wabuffet, Wabuffet. Anyway, I love your little avatar. It's really cute. I like the hat. She has more, yeah, she's had a lot of chances. And she is, in my opinion, I agree with you. She is very vile. Toxic says, take a moment to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you would like to do that at the end of the day, do whatever you want, but I would appreciate it. And hanging
I
out
would
with
too.
me in the Guardians. And don't forget in the description box to go check out Allegedly Speculating. You will not be disappointed.
Right. But I want you to subscribe to this channel. Don't worry about me.
So with the knowing, you'd most likely say no. Okay, opportunity. I do hope I am not the first to ask that, but anyone who is reporting on you, who's not actually trying to understand you and various things, makes their work one-sided and biased. Oh, hi Flora, welcome in. I disagree with this statement almost 100%. I don't agree that if I'm going to report on Sarah that I have to reach out to her to do so, to make my work non-biased. I do feel like most of us that did cover Sarah or is still covering Sarah have done our due diligence for the most part. Now, not all of us have gone in and gone back to her childhood when she was on TV on the game show. Some of that's come across with other creators who've dug in and decided that that's where they wanted to be. My lane was in what is she doing now as an adult after she's committed these crimes. I don't feel like my lane needs to be where was Sarah 10 years ago? What is she doing 7 years ago when, before her and Brian separated? I just don't feel like that's my lane. She committed a crime. I wanted to go through that thoroughly, and that is the place where I feel like I fit in the best in there. But if that's one-sided and biased, maybe, but I disagree with that statement 100%.
I don't think that yeah, I disagree with it being one-sided and biased, but if you are taking it through the concept of like childhood trauma, was she traumatized as a child and trying to look into that, I could understand trying to dig into her past maybe. But because the alcoholism that she had with George, and that all stems from something traumatic happening in her life, and I can understand wanting to know that, but then taking into consideration the personality and person Sarah Boone is, I would never think that she would tell me that. I would think I would get the exact kind of response that this lady got.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I do think what I learned of her throughout the trial, where she was trying to stand alone on a battered women's syndrome um, case when there was no basis on it, and that led to some of the things that had happened. We know that she's lost her parents. We know that she's lost her grandparents. We know that Lucas is her only child. We know Brian's her ex-husband. We know that she was drinking a lot. We know that her and George had a tumultuous relationship. I mean, knowing the past doesn't really change my point of view on how the case turned out or how the trial went. And so I understand that. I understand that completely. I mean,
Yep.
where are you coming from? It
Yep.
is
I
fun to
agree
catch
with
a
you.
night show. I'm so glad you're here, Flora. I love that hair. Is your hair pink? Is it pink?
That's
Petty
so cool.
Petty is here, or Patty. It's Petty. Okay, somebody said Patty and then called her Manson. It's Petty Mason. Nice to see you. Thank you. I did notice you did change your little thumbnail too. Yeah, yeah, and content, she wanted to stand alone on that defense, and she was not able to. She just wasn't able to. Hi, Mila's mom. Your hair looking good in that car. Phew, phew. Getting ready to, I don't know, go pick up Mela. Yeah, I think they were both abusive, in my opinion. I think they were both abusive to each other. It is pink. It's beautiful, Miss Flora. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree that she did that. I think they did it to each other. Mela's mom says hi, toxic, and hi, rubber. All right, let's keep going.
Because I'm not going to hound or harass or do something. If somebody doesn't want to talk, they don't have to. And it was only within, if it would have been a no and nothing else, I wouldn't have even responded back a second time. But she brought up her son and a video on her son and his life. And if you have been a part of my channel, or if you want to go look right now, I've never done those videos. So I don't know if she has me confused for somebody else, or if somebody said that and they said the wrong name to her for my channel. I don't know. But I didn't want her thinking that I would do that at all. So I decided I'd write her back one time. I knew that it was going to be the last time I wrote her, because once again, I already got the response. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with her. That would be awful.
And I completely and 100% agree that was probably for the best. She's going to respond to her and then let that be. But some of the creators out here, now maybe that's where it comes in. People lose their morals or they're biased and one-sided. Some people would go back and forth with Sarah for the rest of their lives
Oh yeah,
just to
absolutely.
provoke a response. Like I almost feel like I would, keep it's like as long as you're responding to me and this is going in as content, like I will keep responding. I've done it in chat before. Let's go back and forth. Let's have a dialogue. That's okay. I like conversation, but I'm also combative. So,
Yeah, you
you
would be
know,
really good at it.
yeah,
I would be the one like, okay, I'll leave you alone.
yeah, I'm combative. Does it make smooth steps? Yeah. We're scared over here of getting in any unknown vehicles, any trains. We have to tuck and roll about 17 times a day in
Yep.
allegedly's chat. I'm scared. Jenny's nephew chose that puppy pic. It's a side eye, isn't it? Your little chihuahua is side eye in the chat.
I love that picture.
Oh yeah, yeah. Earl had to die. Yep. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wouldn't trust her with the Samsonite either.
Right.
But so I knew the second letter, I wanted it to just be polite, let her know that I wasn't involved in whatever she thought I was doing. Katrina X, you are a liar. So many people have said you posted pictures and sugarcoated the hell out of my friend. Stop lying. I am not stupid or ignorant to your kind. Tisk, tisk. I have nothing to say to you other than I am not interested in what you say or think or do about me. As said, you do not know me. As said again, permanently do not speak my son's name or post anything about him and in the future. I am demanding you cease and desist.
I love
Yeah.
that when people are like, cease and desist. It's
I
like,
saw that one coming.
it's not worth the paper it's written on, but okay. Yeah. So
Right.
she like puts in X, Katrina X in quotation marks and calls her like blatantly just calls her a liar. It's like, huh? Tisk tisk. Yeah. Like don't spit on me when you talk, you worm, you convicted, felon. Exactly, Abby, like you have to listen or something. So many people have said you've posted pictures of my son and sugarcoated the hell out of what my friend said about me on your show. What does that mean?
That's something that I had an issue with because she doesn't know if the friend sugarcoated everything or if the creator sugarcoated everything. So you can't really be mad at the creator about that. I'm assuming they have access to YouTube with the tablets and things like we see with Leilani. So I would think she looked up her channel, but I don't know.
So I have not been watching that. So anybody who has not been over to Allegedly's channel, make sure you're checking out those jail calls. Those video jail calls were unreleased previously. I think Dolly Vision even shouted you out tonight because Dolly Vision is mentioned in one of those calls. BHB as well was very involved in that case on a face-to-face basis with them. So yeah, go check those jail calls out.
Oh,
Crazy.
thanks.
You're welcome. So the way I read it at first was he sugar coated the hell out of what my friends said about me. Quote quotes friends in quotations, which is very Sarah quotations on everything. Um, if your friend was sugarcoating things about you, that means that the interview was not bad, right? It wasn't rude. It wasn't out of context. She wasn't taking things out of your name, sugarcoating it, right? She was making it sound
Right.
better, making you sound better than you are. I don't know. We're going to go over that interview on my next live, and I'm looking forward to it. But I wanted to do this first because I kind of wanted to get the end before I got the beginning of that interview. So stop lying. You're not stupid or ignorant. I'm not stupid or ignorant to your kind. What is your kind? Like our YouTube kind, our creator kind, our freedom of speech kind?
Yeah.
What
Good
what
point.
kind? What kind are we? I Yeah, none of us understand what she says, Queen. That's what makes it so it makes it so maddening. She doesn't even know what she said. Yeah, basically. Basically, and we haven't been able to FOIA anything. Well, I say we haven't been able to. I have not tried to FOIA anything from Lau yet. No, this friend that she interviewed didn't even know it was a childhood friend. And as far as from what I can tell, just on the few little things that I saw, she didn't even know what was going on with Sarah. She had no idea. Like when somebody reached out to her and said, "Hey, I heard you're a childhood friend of Sarah, and do you want to go over all the information?" And she didn't even know that Sarah was in jail. And then her parents also knew her as a child, and her parents didn't know either. Like, I don't know if you're living in a cave, but of course, I digress because not everybody watches YouTube. We're in our own little sector of millions of people that watch YouTube, and I just think the whole world's just got to know, right? The whole world's got to know.
Yeah, that's what you think, but some people just don't get into true crime, and, yeah, it's weird
Yeah,
because a lot we're all over here like, "Oh, everybody knows about this," you know?
yeah. I mean, and that's okay. We could be little, we're 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 kind of a big deal. We're a big deal. Our true crime sector is a big deal. Hi, Bellis.
Hey, Bellas.
I was
Hey,
wondering if you
everybody.
got the notification. Hi, doggy. Little dog. So, did you get your little doggy? I know you were looking at a little doggy. Did you get it? Trying to think if I watched the interview. I think I did, but don't remember for sure. If you guys want to go over her interview one day, I would love to go over the interview and on a live, because what my thought process is and what yours thought process is probably completely different. Nobody texted Abellis and said, "Get in here." Everybody
Oh,
knows your vibe, Flora. You're kind of a big deal too.
I'm slacking. I was in bed. I didn't text anybody. I just jumped on.
Yeah, we're in our own little world. And Queen Olive, she's kind of a big deal. If I didn't know.
And I have already representatives in New York about you and your schemes, especially with my minor son. Stop now. You're no better than any other cash cow trying to make a buck off my falsified and manipulated story.
Oh, with that segue, please leave a like and subscribe on your way
I
in
love it.
for my cash cow. For just add to my cash cow to my bank, please, by liking and subscribing. It's free. Thank you.
Just
I
go
love it.
with what you've got. It's all you're getting, and it's not from me. Shake my head. You've got nothing for me or my son or family members. You are conniving. You are conniving no one, but all that you are to the other no ones. You don't bother me, ever. Stay away in every way, shape, or form from me and my life. It's just going to get better and without all of your sadistic contributions. God's on my side, and that's all that matters.
Oh my Lord Jesus, help us all.
Danielle, so nice to see you. Danielle, did you cover this? You've got to have covered this. This is going to be amazing. Falsified story. So I have nothing to say to you other than I'm not interested in what you say or think or do about me. I'm not interested, but I'm going to write you back. And I'm going to tell you that I'm not interested. I'm not bothered at all.
Yeah, she's got nothing else better to do. I like you said a minute ago, she'll go back and forth, I'm sure, forever and a day. It's funny how she said that God's got me, and like saying that basically we're all horrible and she's touched by Jesus. Lord have mercy.
She's touched, all right. As said, you do not know me. As said again, and permanently do not speak my son's name or post anything about him now and futuristic. Number one, the only reason she even said your son's name was in response because she said that she did not reach out to your brothers, she did not reach out to your son, and she did not reach out to your ex-husband. She did not say names. You did. You did in your response to her. I'm demanding you cease and desist, and I have alerted my representatives in New York about you and your schemes. Are you hitting the hooch?
She
Are you?
might be. She might have representatives in New York. Somebody might try to do a movie or a book deal with her. I don't know.
Oh, bitch. Come on now. I've alerted my representatives. You can't even keep a lawyer. You don't have any representatives in New York.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, representatives in New York. Who's in Tanika? Is Tanika representing her? Dan- Danielle, are you representing this girl? Hi, Fawny. So nice to see you. So nice to
Hey
see you.
everyone.
We are talking about Sarah Boone and the schemes that are going on about her, especially with my minor son. Stop now. Yeah. You're no better. You are no better than any of the other cash cows trying to make a buck off of my falsified and manipulated story. We all watched the trial, honey buns. We
Yeah.
all watched the trial. It was nothing falsified or manipulated in that story except for your arguments and your forgiveness speech.
Yeah, that forgiveness speech was enough to make me gag. That was
Not-
just absolutely disgusting.
yeah, not only falsified and manipulated story in your forgiveness speech, but also plagiarized.
Mm.
Because all that glitters is not gold, if I am correct in saying so. Just go with what you've already got. So you still want me to cover you. You still want the cash cows to cover you. Just go with what we've already got. So there we have it. There is the permission that we needed.
Yep.
Just go with what you got, y'all. Anybody want to do anything, just go with what you got. It's all you're getting, and it's not from me. Shake my head. You've got nothing for me or my son or my family members. You're a conniving no one. Be all that you are to the other no ones. You don't bother me ever. But I have responded 4 times to you. Sarah's crack is covered in gold, apparently. Bellis, go to your
Apparently.
room. Oh, yeah, she can't because yeah, that's the Son of Sam law. Yeah, you're totally right, Fawny. Same thing with Wade
Oh.
Wilson. Yeah, she can't make any money off of herself. So we'll do it for her, I suppose.
Yeah.
Abellis. Abellis, my love. You always have a way of trying to make me cry while I'm on this panel.
So
You do that.
sweet.
You are absolutely the most supportive human being on the face of the earth, and I love you, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. 50 new members.
That was
Layla's
so sweet.
mom got one. Tony got one. Oh, so many. Cracker Jacks got one. Rachel got one. Fawny and Janet. Queen Olive. Denise. Denise is with Toxic. She's from As the Gavel Drops Discord. In Toxic, if you're here, if you want to drop that link, you feel free to do so. Orange Rose. Tracy K. Hi, Tracy. How are you? Tracy's here too. Tracy's also from As the Gavel Drops Discord. If you guys don't know how to find the documents for some of these cases, Sarah Boone included, As the Gavel Drops Discord is the place to do that. Danielle, thank you so much. I hope your channel is continuing to grow just like it should because you are an amazing creator. I'm good, Tracy. It's so nice to see you. Bellis, I guess you want to hear the song, don't you? Okay, I do it. I find it. Thank you. Welcome all new members. Gammy
I
got
love it.
one. It's so great. Petty Mason. Granny's watching got one. Good job.
Oh wow.
Yay. I'm so grateful in so many ways. I have no way to thank you, Abellis, except for to just say that thank you and I appreciate everything you do for both my channel and for Allegedly's channel. Allegedly Speculating is here with me tonight. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
court
thank you.
watching, and we love you here.
Aw.
We love you too, Abellis. I
We
know
we love you all.
All right, I'm not allowed to love bomb for too long because then we get in trouble. Okay, stay away in every way, shape, form from me and my life. Do you think she's going to go to Lowell and visit you?
Some people would.
Can we? Can we go visit her?
You know what? My car's in the shop right now. If I get it fixed, we can try.
Oh, you're handing out. Oh, yes, you're handing out the good stuff in chat.
Oh,
You got the good stuff.
uh-oh.
It's just going to get better and without any of your sadistic contributions. So, her writing back and forth to you about wanting to tell your side of the story is now a sadistic contribution to the madness in your life. Pathetic. Pathetic. Don't call this creator out for that. God's on my side, and that's all that matters. You better hope that that's true, ma'am, because if the faith manipulation that you're intending to put out here on this internet for everybody to see is not on your side, you're going to have a cold day in hell when you meet your own suitcase.
Yep.
Ooh, Cabernet Sauvignon. I'm stuck with you, Flora. I like it. You stay as long as you want.
Liar, thief, problem, not the solution.
Well, now, so when you're growing up, did your teachers or your parents ever tell you if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem?
I've heard it.
It's just, it's kind of pathetic and manipulative. That's Sarah, though. Very manipulative.
Yep.
I really hope, I really want to reach out. I am going to reach out to Katrina and just make sure that she knows that if she needs us to jump up and down and rattle the cages over there, that we will do so. We're not bringing her Pop Tarts. No, ma'am. Norma.
No.
Hi, Norma. Welcome
Hey,
in.
Norma.
So good to see you. Petty, I just like bringing your chat up just so I can see the old school. Is it a courtroom? It's like Perry Mason, but petty. It's okay. Did I just have an epiphany about why your name is Oh my gosh. Put me to bed, allegedly. I'm not I'm, I'm not slow, I swear. Shh. You know, he is giving her the side eye. He's giving her Jenny's puppy side eye. You've been sober for 18 years and you just drink a soft drink, aka soda. Soda pop?
Yeah,
Soda
me and
pop?
you will just sit over here with our sodas, detective.
No, but yes, I know. Epiphany rate. Boom. Jeez.
Once again, no expectations, but I was shocked at the aggressive, mean tone of the entire thing. Especially when I thought I wrote such a good like closing letter. So to get that back, I'm like, oh no. Like just I really wasn't sure what I should be thinking or feeling. And I
Oh,
had told my husband that I was pretty surprised that that was the response back and how mean it was. And he turned to me and said, "She killed somebody.
that's right.
What did you expect her to be like?
That's right.
Of course she's not nice."
Yep.
And I'm like, I know. And I
So this goes back to my younger days, my very, very many years ago, when I thought that human beings as a whole were generally good people. Like, I just wanted to believe that everybody was just good. Like, she has that mindset, and I love that innocence in her. She wants to believe that everybody is good people, and I love that for her. And I hate that somebody like Sarah tries to take that away from her. There are good people out there. There are still good people, but you do have to set yourself up for the fact that she is a murderer. She literally sat there on video and relished in the fact that her boyfriend was suffocating and dying in that suitcase, and she had no qualms about telling him to shut the fuck up. That's my name. Don't wear it out. And then, on top of that, go into the interview and tell everybody that it was not intentional, that she zipped him up to where he couldn't get out, took a video of it, finished what she was doing, kicked it over, hit him with a bat to make sure he couldn't get out, went upstairs with her dogs and went to sleep. That's who
Yeah.
you wrote. That's who you wrote a letter to.
Yeah, she's inherently good. Sarah's inherently not, and that's just the way she has been and is going to be. I mean, I feel bad for they had a toxic relationship, her and George, but like I feel like he suffered more than she did. If I mean, just looking from the outside, from what I know. And
Yeah.
I apologize about the coughing. The kids are sick. I'm trying to
Oh,
get that under control. Yeah, trying to get
all
them
that
to lay down.
cheese has given her a nasty disposition, right?
Yep.
Yeah, all of Miss Paulson's letters are aggressive. I've done that. I said I wasn't going to use her last name anymore, but I haven't. It's like Boone, and I need to take that off of there. But I guess factually, for now, it's still her name. Do you think she recorded it by accident? You think she was just because she says something that's unintelligible in the video that I've not ever been able to figure it out. But we'll go over that someday.
I think
I
she recorded it out of arrogance. I think that she recorded it because it made her feel good to watch him do that, and she wanted to be able to watch it later.
I I I think that that's a possibility. Hi, Miss Sarah. It is so nice to see you here. Fawny says, I'm learning that myself. I used to be idealistic about human nature, but I'm learning discernment. It's hard. It's so hard because when we're small, we're taught to say, please, thank you, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. Inherently, everybody is supposed to be given respect and receive respect, and it's just not the way of the land. This very video likely will have comments, that aren't particularly like, not you can't make everybody like you. Let me just say that. Allegedly, and I both get comments all the time. Your life sucked and this, that, and the-" like, what is your point? You can't say anything nice. Don't say anything at all. And I just hate the fact that she's taken this away from this poor woman here who's just trying to reach out and give her a platform to say her truth because that's what
Yeah.
she thinks is her truth.
Yeah. Sarah, I hope that your baby feels better too.
I do hope so too. I don't know enough about George to discern whether he was a good man or not. I know from what we can see on the videos that they both had issues, with alcohol, and I would hope that, at some point in time he would have gotten help and hopefully she would have, and maybe they would have had a perfect relationship, or maybe they would have figured out they were toxic for each other and separated. I don't know. But to say he's a good man, I don't know anything about him. It they make it seem so, but that's their job to do that in court.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does seem like a mad drunk to me. She's always throwing shade at that man. I mean, he was asleep out in the hallway. Some of the things that she did, on camera. I mean, that's why I don't think it was an accident that she recorded him. She's been recording him when she was drunk many times over and
Yeah.
making him say things. Yeah, know that, Danielle. Many, many times
Yeah.
when she was drunk, she recorded him and made him say things and tell your kids this and call your family for this. Yeah, she recorded him all the time, Queen. You're totally right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's
Yep.
just mean in general. And I think the alcohol might have enhanced it, but she's just hateful. She's just a hateful person.
And we saw her. She got this RO and told him to get out and never come back. And then she would call him, and it's on her cell phone. She would invite him back, entice him back, and tell him to come in. I love you. I love yous. Let's get back together. Let's figure this out. And then she'd go in the other room and she'd call the cops on him 4 different times that we know of for sure.
Yeah, she's just a hateful, conniving one of them, and it sucks because it seems like he really loved her. I was not there. I did not see. I do not know, but it seems like he really cared for her. He wouldn't have kept coming back, and she's one of those that wants to call the police, and then after enticing him to be there. Like, I can't with those kind of people.
I just don't understand the mindset because even when I've been married and divorced, and even in my worst moments with my divorce, I don't think I've ever even said, this is just me and my relationship, but I didn't have anything negative to say about him. We just weren't good for each other. We just weren't, and I don't have any reason to put him in a suitcase and get him arrested over and over.
It's a power and control. She craves it and feeds on it. Power and control, being in control. I
Yeah.
think.
When I saw it, first thing I did was ask my husband if he wants to play hide and seek, and he just looked at me funny. Well, yeah, because we're not children. You know what I mean? And I did
Right.
see, I think it might have even been Danielle's video, where he kind of foreshadowed his own um, death in one of his Facebook comments when he was leaving a previous relationship to go to the new one, where he basically says, "Where are you at, girls? You know, we're too old to play hide and seek," when he was trying to find a new relationship. And so I've
Mm.
always thought, is that a play on words, by did he, manifest that, or did he foresee it? You know?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the domestic violence does run strong in the family. I know that his brother is incarcerated and going through some things right now. We haven't been able to get a hold of those documents, but we've read somewhere that alcoholics make people psychotic in large quantities over long periods. She was psychotic when she got drunk. She sure seemed like it, didn't she? Even if he was abusive, she clearly was nastier for what she did. Well, yeah, clearly, because she can still tell the story.
Yeah.
Allegedly, yeah. I understand what you're saying, Fonny.
Sub Rosa. Stop it.
So I said that about George because of how his family and ex spoke of him. Yeah. Oh no, I don't get me wrong. I'm not dogging the man. They probably weren't wrong. His mother loves him undoubtedly, like to the moon and back. No, he, as far as me personally, I don't know him, and I would just have to discern that he's a good guy just based on what they say. Yeah, absolutely. Remember, no one came forward for Sarah except, yeah, her jail girlfriend.
Yep, because she's just a mean, hateful person.
Sub Rosa, nice to see you. Welcome in. Interesting that such a sour person chooses a sour alcohol to drink.
I was laughing. They said, Sub Rosa said, hide and seek I shall. And I started laughing.
Yeah, I'm probably way behind in chat now. Maybe we should be grateful. Yeah, you're right, Abby. We probably should be grateful that we don't understand the mindset, because then that would make us suitcase, unalivers. Wow. No. I, yeah. Don't put your ex inside, or take your clothes. Take your clothes and go. I don't think
Yep.
I could ever put my husband in a suitcase. First of all, he's too big for that. And second of all, I don't think I would want to kill him, murder him and put him in a suitcase. I just think that it would be a messy cleanup.
Lord Jesus.
She did that on purpose. She was just cruel. Been divorced a couple of times, and I've never had a restraining order. Yeah, yeah. People are just, and here on YouTube lately, everybody's just like throwing out ROs like candy. Here, you get one. You get one. Yeah, yeah. Let's go down here. That's a possibility. That's a possibility.
Yeah, we've talked about it, and I've thought that she put him in the suitcase like when he was passed out. We were talking about it at one point, and he woke up in there, and then she had to come up with a story when he was deceased, when she found him deceased, and the story was hide and seek. I don't know that that was ever really a thing. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. It's
Well,
just
and then,
speculation.
and in her interview and in the 911 call, both, she does say, I put him in the suitcase. There are two different times that I know of that she says, I put him in the suitcase. And then
Mm,
there's also a time where she says, uh, he put himself in the suitcase. So it's, either way, whether he got in there or whether he was like, okay, this is a cool place to hide because this is a little apartment. I got nowhere to hide. How cool. Hi,
yeah.
Jessica. Nice to meet you. You're a bit behind. That's okay. I just don't. I do think she did too because of what the neighbors stated at the trial. I do believe that. I agree.
Hmm.
And it wasn't the first time that they've heard things falling down the stairs.
Unfortunately, that's sad too.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, they do. I'll tell the
Yep.
cops it was hide and seek. Yeah. The neighbors heard the loud noises a lot louder than they normally did. Yeah, and then the way they described it as the staircase being over the bed, itself. Yeah, regardless at the end of the day whether he put himself in there or she put him in there, she left him there. And she made it to where he was not able to get out. He just wasn't.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Would somebody please, one of the mods, please drop allegedly speculating's link for Jessica? She wants to check out the jail calls, the visual calls between Leilani Simon and her mom. if you would. We'll get that dropped for you. It's allegedly speculating. She's on panel with me today, and she has a great channel. She has all of the jail calls between Leilani Simon and her mama. They include Dolly, Vision, and BHB as well. Of course, they were highly involved in the case, so go and check that out.
I appreciate it. I'm not able to chat at the moment, so I like type and chat. So I really appreciate that.
We appreciate you. I appreciate Jessica asking about it. Yeah, she's also in the description below in case something happens and you don't get it. Actually, I'll drop it here. It's amazing to see so many cool people in chat today. I miss going live. I don't always get the chance to with my grandmother. She is about to turn 93 in April, and I will be 44 in April. So we're going to celebrate our birthdays this year. And it's going to be
Aw.
amazing. Yes, it's going to be amazing. There we go. Oh, thank you. You did that right before I did, Sarah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. All right, let's see what else she has to say. So there's only a couple more minutes left of this video. Like I said, the next video I'd like to cover is the video that she did with Sarah Boone's childhood friend. I definitely want to do that, but I wanted to hit this first and just the snark in this woman, and I had to get it out. I had to get it out of my system.
I get that. I think with the anger that I was met with, it was probably for the better that she is not being asked to go and talk to anybody.
Oh,
This is where she's going to keep it at.
you are so sweet.
So that really ends my Sarah Boone saga of letters and investigations, and I feel like I gave the opportunity. Even with her berating of me, I will still be conducting myself the same way like these interviews have already been going.
Well,
I want to
good.
be fair.
Good for her.
I want to just highlight stories that we maybe haven't seen the whole truths.
I'm glad that she understands it wasn't anything she did, that Sarah's just a mean person.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's see, Abella's. Mine is the 5th, and Nanny's is the oh gosh, 23rd, the 25th. Mine's the 5th. Hers is the 25th. We're gonna celebrate it together. Oh, Jenny, I'm sorry to hear that. 83 is it's such a nice age that you can still sit down in front of them on your hands and knees and listen to their stories. She was born in 1939. Like I can sit down, or 1932 rather. My other grandmother was born in 1939. So I'm very fortunate to have an 83 and a 90, or 85 and a 93-year-old. So you have an amazing voice, Sarah. Anybody who has not checked out Sarah, she has a podcast on Spotify that I listen to. This video gets quiet and loud, but it takes a while to dial in your content. She's doing great so far. To dial in mine or hers? Oh, the video. She gets quiet and on her video a little bit. That's okay. I'm just really loud naturally, and
Me too.
allegedly also is very loud. Yeah, I'm glad she did not take it personally. I'm so glad. I agree.
Oh.
I agree. Yeah, they do have amazing stories. She sits down and she'll say some things, of course, in 93, with the memory fading a little bit. She does have a tendency to embellish a little bit and tell, some tall stories, but that's okay. 10-10-7-7. She's extra. Yeah, she's absolutely extra about everything. Guys, we have hit an hour and 15 minutes, and I am so grateful to everybody that came and saw me tonight. Abellis, thank you for the memberships. I'm going to play the thank you one more time just so I can hear it and you guys can hear it. You guys are amazing. Hopefully, we'll be able to do this again soon. Allegedly, thank you so much for coming up and hanging out with me tonight. And everybody else, thank you for hanging with Hio.
Yeah, thank you.
Say it again, girl.
Sorry. I said, yeah, thank you for having me up, and thank you, everybody, for coming in.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for hanging with Theo. Bye.
Bye.